I made a list recently. Sometimes you get a little introspective and you start thinking about things that are important in life. I made this little list of what's important to me, what's valuable to me. And I came up a list of 7 things, and maybe you could come up with your own list of what's precious to you. But I came up with a list of 7 things that are precious to me. The first of those is health. Your health. If you don't have your health, what do you have? Nothing. Health is a valuable, important thing. And I think some of you are involved in health businesses. Sometimes we could take, our bodies are such incredible machines that we can abuse them so harshly, and yet they still rebound. You know, that we can feed them with terrible food, and we can deprive them of sleep, and we can not move as much as we need to move, and they still bounce back and survive. And sometimes we can take it for granted, and I think it's a mistake. And I'm 53 years old. You start thinking about maybe I have, potentially, who knows, advances of technology, but I probably have more yesterdays than I do tomorrows. You start paying attention a little bit more to health. You start moving your body a little bit more. You start saying, should I put that into my body a little bit more? So health is a big one. That's one for me. A second is love. Love. This idea of, I think love connects us. This movie, Collateral Beauty. Anybody see the movie Collateral Beauty with Will Smith? Where he has this conversation with love and he's mad. And my favorite part of that movie is when the character of love says, I'm in all of it. I'm in everything. I'm in the pain. I'm in the joy. I'm in the adventure. I'm in it all. I'm in the relationship. I'm in everything. It's the one thing that binds us, connects us, this incredible energy of love. And without it, it's a sad thing. Whether it's romantic love or friendship love or love for your work, love for contribution, love for your purpose and your passion, love is a big deal. Next is family and friends for me. You think about the impact of family and friends in your life. Some of you don't have a large extended family. Those of you who do know what that can mean for you. Those of you who don't, or come from small families, or you've lost members of your family, know how friendship can take that place of family. Richard Bach wrote that rarely do members of the same family grow up under the same roof. It's like this idea of us. I consider us family. People in this room, family, common ideals, common purpose. We have each other's back. We encourage each other. We challenge each other. We drive each other crazy sometimes. But family can take a lot of different forms. It doesn't necessarily have to take blood for you to be family. How many people have somebody who you consider part of your family that's not blood related? Take a look around. It's everybody. So family and friends is the third. Fourth for me, and you're going to come up with your own list, but fourth for me is faith. You can define that however you'd like. Faith in something you can't see yet. Faith in something that you believe is real and possible and potential, but you can't quite see it yet. There's something about faith that pulls us through our lives, challenges us to step into a bigger picture for ourselves, causes us to have a bigger vision. This faith, the ability to see something you can't, or the ability to believe something you can't quite see yet. For me, that's a precious thing. Think about a person without faith, without the ability to see the future, without the ability to know that things are happening for a purpose, even though they don't understand it yet. That's a sad existence to me. And I grew up in a house filled with faith. And that's a valuable part of my upbringing, I believe. So I don't know what it is for you, but faith is a big one for me. Purpose. Number 5 on my list. Show me a sad person, I'll show you somebody without a purpose. One of the saddest things on earth is a person without a purpose. Finding that thing that drives you, finding that thing that causes you to play bigger than you thought, finding that thing that's outside of you, something bigger than yourself that causes you to stretch and grow. Leads you to contribution, leads you. The things that make me happiest in this world are growth and contribution. And guess why growth and contribution make me so happy is because it drives me in the direction of my purpose. When I'm here in front of you today, I will tell you this is my purpose. This is why I was born, is to do this. And why? Because it's causing me to grow and it's causing me to contribute to you. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Purpose. Number 6 is freedom. Having choices, having options. I think it's a precious thing. Being able to follow your own convictions, being able to make decisions and do things because you decided they were important. Being able to say no. Most people in this world, do you know that they don't have the ability to say no? Their boss tells them to do something that they don't agree with, and they don't have the ability to say no. Look at what's happening in the headlines today. People finding themselves in unfortunate situations with powerful people and not knowing how to say no and not feeling empowered to say no. So one is the ability to walk away from things that you don't agree with. The other is the ability to say yes to the things that you want to experience. Whether it's personal for you to be able to say yes to the car you want to drive or the house you want to live in, or if it's about others to be able to say yes to supporting a family member in need, or taking care of your child's education, or contributing to the cause that's important to you. When they pass the offering plate, yes, you could put the $20 in. But wouldn't it be nice to say yes to putting in the $20,000? Because you could. When the family member has a disaster and somebody loses a breadwinner in the family, wouldn't it be nice to go beyond saying, I'm praying for you, and be able to say, I'll take care of your mortgage? The freedom to be able to go where we want to go, have our choices and our time. The ability to do these things are such a big deal for me. I'm so grateful for the fact that I get to live the life that I design versus the life somebody else designed for me. One of the reasons why I love network marketing so much is it allows you to design a life. Design your life the way you choose. That's a cool thing. Freedom to say no. Freedom to say yes. Freedom to say, I'll let you know. Freedom to say, let's do it. Freedom to say, let's go. Freedom. Some parts of the world don't have freedom. I feel sad for those parts of the world where you can't say what you want to say and do what you want to do. And hopefully the connection of all of us together will start to break those walls down, and eventually information will spread around the world and people will realize that they have more power than they thought. That would be a good place, wouldn't it? And 7 on my list of precious things is time. Time is so valuable. Time is so precious. Time is so spectacular. And yet we abuse it. We abuse time. We waste time. We slap time in the face. every single day, even though the gift that it is spectacular? Time. Like I said, for me, you start thinking a little bit about time and what does it mean for you? I want you to think about this, especially if you're a young person. I think all of us are young at heart, right? I heard once that you mentally stop aging, at least in your mind, you stop aging at about age 33 and you just keep surprising yourself when you look in the mirror. I think that's pretty close to true. But as you get a little bit older, for some of you young people, as you get a little bit older, you start thinking about time differently. And when you start thinking about what we're going to do with our lives and the people we're going to contribute to and the purpose that we have and the freedoms that we have, what are we going to do with it? It is a gift and it is also a responsibility. We waste time all the time. We waste it. We squander it. We lose days. We go, look, a bird, and the day's gone. We're never going to get it back. It's the one thing we're never going to get back. Money, there's unlimited money. There really, truly is. All you have to do is provide value to the world, solve problems for the world, and they will pay you money. And the bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. If you learn how to solve big problems, you can make all the money you want. You want to solve a problem for a company, build a big network and have that network be productive, selling products and services, they will pay you unlimited dollars without restriction. And that's all a learnable skill. Provide value to the world, guess what? They pay you. They pay you money, but they don't pay you time. The reason why I so respect the fact that you're here is not that you invested the money to buy a ticket or that you invested the money to travel here. It's that you invested your time to be here. It's a precious thing. So I got to tell you, think about your list, whatever that list is, of precious things to you. And start thinking about what kind of level of respect you're giving to those precious things. And I understand my own contradictions, right? I understand that I'm not congruent on every aspect of what I say is precious to me. I understand. And I've got to tell you, one of the things I've been hearing my whole life is, Eric, he has so much potential, but he just doesn't step into his potential. Crazy, right? When I was in high school, I've got to tell you, how many people consider themselves a relatively disciplined person? For the rest of you, you're my people. I'm so undisciplined. I'm so rebellious. And I'm learning this about myself every day in every way. It's like if somebody tells me I have to do something, even if it's good for me, I'm like, nope, I'm out. And it started when I was a kid. Make your bed. I would fight that. Ask my mom. I would fight and 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 fight on a simple thing like making your bed. Go into school. They say you got to study. Nope. You got to do your homework. Nah. I just didn't. I barely escaped formal education because something in me just fought against you must, you have to, you have to. Bell rang, you have to be there. I was the tardy kid. I just was. I didn't do the homework and I'd do the test because you had to do the test. And I'd end up getting my C-. I've frustrated more teachers. If any of you taught me, I'm sorry. I know it's frustrating, but it's the truth. I really struggle with it. And what's crazy, and the same thing was true inside of jobs. It's the reason why I had 18 jobs before I was 22 years old. The reason why I had 18 jobs was because I would do the minimum. What's required and nothing else. And if they asked me to do anything else voluntarily, nope. As an investment in myself, nope. I'm not interested. That was me. And then I get involved in network marketing. I get involved in this profession that gives you freedom, gives you time. And I bring my same undisciplined self to network marketing. And I gotta tell you something. I'm gonna make an admission to all of you. And here's the admission. Network marketing is the most forgiving business in the entire world. There is no more forgiving business than a network marketing business because they won't fire you for lack of effort. They won't fire you for not showing up. They won't fire you from doing a bad presentation. Think about if you were on a salary for your network marketing business, how long would you be employed? How quick would it be before they would write you up? It would be fast for some of you. Love you. You're not doing anything. You're on probation. Love you. You're just thinking about it. You go into your work at your job and just think about it. Is anybody going to pay you for that? They're not. So it's so forgiving. We can do almost nothing and still make a little bit of money. Introduce a few people to our business, and they go do some work, and the company pays us every single month. We haven't done anything in months. Some of you recruited some people, you haven't worked with them in ages. You still get paid. It's ridiculous. It's totally unfair. So inside of this profession, it's crazy what happened. It's crazy because at the beginning, there was shortcuts in network marketing that don't exist in other businesses. Shortcut number one is you don't have to build any infrastructure. You don't have to put in any investment in order to be able to grow a business. So that's an incredible shortcut. Other people put on events like this. All you got to do is drag some bodies, put them in seats. The event does the work for you. That sounds pretty good. And you think you're amazing because you brought 3 people. Oh, you're just something special. Oh, I got a 10-pack. Oh, good for you. I mean, yeah, it's okay. It's a step. But don't start calling yourself Steve Jobs just yet. You know what I mean? So it forgives you. When I got started, it was a joke. I got started in the network marketing profession. I joined my company. I went to my mom and dad's house. I took their address book. I quickly called all of their friends before they had a chance to call them. They were my upline. I introduced my mom and dad to their own friends. Does that take a lot of skill? Some of those people signed up. I get paid. Silly. Totally silly. So, in all of this, struggling with my own discipline, struggling with my own use of time, the other thing network marketing will allow you to do, it's the craziest thing, is you can work for a week, and then it's really easy to kind of take 3 weeks and not do anything. And nobody fires you. And then you could work for another week, and then you could take another 7 weeks. Some of you are ready right now to take the next 6 weeks off and start January 1st. You've already justified it. You're already ready. Now, if you do that in your job for the next 6 weeks, let's just do a little test, just for fun. Don't show up at your job for the next 6 weeks. Let's see what happens. Just tell them, hey, it's the holidays. People are busy. What happens? You are fired. So it's so forgiving. Some of the $1 million earners, they know who they are. They're my friends. They've been in a success coma for years. They worked really hard 4 years ago. And then after that, they've been kissing babies and taking pictures, making appearances. They show up at their conference. They stand and take photos at the VIP reception because they have a pin that they earned 7 years ago. They get the check every single month. They feel bad about it, but they're not going to tell anybody. They haven't qualified at that pin level for quite a while, but that's okay. They still have the pin. And nobody's going to call them out. And they live underneath their potential, and they feel bad about it, and they know it. It just sucks. And part of it, I think, is our fault, because we tell the story of work 2 to 4 years and then be able to go to the beach. For a person with a true purpose, is that the dream? If you're living your purpose, are you going to the beach? You'll visit, don't get me wrong. You'll go to Bora Bora. You'll go to Hawaii. You'll go to the greatest beaches in the world, but it's not part of your purpose to stay there unless you're going to recruit them all. Because again, why are we here? We're here to make a difference in the world. We're here to contribute to the lives of other people. We're here to grow and help other people do the same thing. You want to know the secret to happiness, in my opinion? It's growth and contribution. And if you don't have those two in place, even if you have the money, you're going to feel restless and you're not going to know why. You're going to feel unhappy and you're not going to know why. You 7-figure earners that think that because the pitch was, do the thing that other people are not willing to do for a few years so you can have what other people don't have for the rest of your life. That's the pitch. But then we forget when we get there that wasn't the goal. The goal was becoming enough of a person to be able to earn that based upon the contribution that we've been to other people. Some of the $1 million earners, they should be $1 million a month, not for their own personal gain, but for the scorecard of what that will mean, the number of lives that they will be able to touch based upon the $1 million a month. And I'm not talking about workaholic out of balance. I'm talking about contribution. It's the reason why I don't understand retirement. A good friend of mine, he's making almost $2 million a year. He said to me, he said, yeah, I think I'm going to kind of pull back. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, what do you mean? This is what we do this for. I said, no, this is not what we do this for. What we do this for is for contribution to the world. What we do this for is to make a difference. What we do this for is to make the world a better place. He's like, well, yeah, but I'm feeling a little burned out. I said, from what? I understand being bored with kissing babies and taking photos and making appearances. I get that. But changing that next life, that desperate person that's praying for somebody like you to show up in their life and help them see a bigger picture of their life than they could possibly see before. That person that's there to rescue them from a desperate situation. They don't know how to get there. They haven't been trained, and they need somebody who's gone before them, been down the road to come back, reach out a hand, and help them go to that next level, help that next person light up. And after we had a conversation, he said, you know, I guess I just thought I was supposed to kick back because I'm at the top of my company, I'm at the top of the game. I said, what if the top was the bottom of your potential? And he went, oh. And he told me this weekend, he said, I'm back. And I'm going to go bigger than I've ever thought I could go before. Give him a round of applause. I'm not going to say his name. But his contribution is going to be huge. I deal with people like this all the time. People who are living smaller than their capability. People who are living small because they were told to. People who are bumping up against the limits of the expectations around them and are uncomfortable going beyond those limits. We only have so much time. It's a matter of what we're going to do with it.